I need to talk about the boss.
Evening, Toronto! Sorry we're late. We had plane trouble and we had to sit on our asses for hours and wait for another one. We apologize. This is a fighting prayer for my country. Last night I stood at your doorstep, trying to figure out what went wrong. You just slipped something into my palm and you were gone. I could smell the same deep green of summer. Above me the same night sky was glowing. In the distance I could see the town where I was born. It's gonna be a long walk home. Hey, pretty darling, don't wait up for me. Gonna be a long walk home. A long walk home. Oh! I passed South Grocery, barber shop on South Street. I looked into their faces, they were all rank strangers to me. Through the trees all high on the hill, stood silent and alone. The dining was shut and born, with a sign that just said gone. Well, it's gonna be a long walk home. Hey, pretty darling, don't wait for me. Gonna be a long walk home. Hey, pretty darling, don't wait for me. Gonna be a long walk home. It's gonna be a long walk home.
3 days later, I can't stop thinking about it. I've clearly got to get this off my chest. And it just so happens I've got a pretty big megaphone here. I mean, what was the point of working my ass off for the past 12 plus years, building my own radio station from scratch, if I can't record the odd monologue or two? Let's start at the beginning. I think my first Bruce Springsteen experience was a compilation album I owned as a kid that included Hungry Heart. I liked Hungry Heart just fine. But then, in 1984, when I was a 10-year-old all about Top 40 radio, shout out to 680 CFTR, Born in the USA came out. Born in the USA had so many radio hits. I had to own the cassette, and I loved it. I'd hear these songs all the time. Born in the USA, Cover Me, Working on the Highway, I'm on Fire, I'm Going Down, Glory Days, My Hometown, and of course, his biggest hit, at least of songs he performed, Dancing in the Dark. I loved that album. I remember being disappointed in the follow-up, Tunnel of Love, because it didn't sound like Born in the USA. What can I say? I was young. Then, my Bruce Springsteen memories are primarily of soundtrack Bruce. Streets of Philadelphia, Dead Man Walking. I still adore those songs. Heck, they might be my 2 favorite Bruce Springsteen songs of all time. Sure, big jams like Born to Run were in the atmosphere, but I didn't start to appreciate 70s Bruce until I started kicking out the jams with returning guests on Toronto Mic'd. The recurring joke was that every 60-something sports media personality would kick out a 70s Springsteen song. So much 70s Bruce, from Thunder Road to Badlands to Rosalita. I was getting an education about what I'd missed. Fast forward to 2023, and a very generous and supportive listener named Steve gifted me 4 tickets to see Bruce Springsteen in the E Street Band at Scotiabank Arena. The concert was scheduled for November 2023, and I was keen to see what all the hype was about. I've been hearing about Bruce Springsteen and his long, energetic performances for the past 40 years. That concert was postponed a year, and this past Wednesday, I saw Bruce Springsteen live for the first time. Wow. For 3 hours, I stood up and swayed to the music as I watched this man and his amazing band go hard. I was hypnotized. The musicianship, the passion, the energy. And this was one night after Donald Trump's victory, so I wasn't sure what mood Bruce would be in. The election was only referenced once, off the top of the show, and then he seemed to start the healing process through a cathartic explosion of rock and roll. It was mind-blowing, and at 3 hours it didn't seem long enough. I finally saw what all the hype was about, and it somehow exceeded my lofty expectations. Yesterday I went for a 7-kilometer walk with my oldest, and I was telling him about the concert. I described it as akin to being converted in a giant cathedral, and told him I wouldn't hesitate to spend hundreds of dollars to share that experience with him one day. I am 50 years old and consider myself a high-energy guy. But at 75 years old, Bruce Springsteen put me to shame. What an inspiration. I have seen rock and roll's future, and its name is Bruce Springsteen.
Carry saints and sinners. colors is strange.